Do you want to hear a magical story about art? It's the story about how teachers shape us, sometimes in ways that they never even know. I'm a big believer in teachers. When I was a child, my parents wanted me to become a nurse or a secretary when I grew up. But I was that kid who was always playing school. I'd gather the younger kids in our garage. I always had a pointer in my hand, a chalkboard at the ready. I'd teach whatever it was I just learned, math, spelling, until my mother caught my rather detailed lesson on the birds and the bees, and that pointer got confiscated rather quickly. But my real story starts with Ms. Henshin. She was my art teacher from grade 4 to 8. Picture this. When I was growing up, all the female teachers were called Mrs. or Miss. They all wore brown pantsuits and plaid skirts. I couldn't imagine myself being them when I grew up. So if I couldn't be a teacher, I didn't know what I wanted to be. But in 4th grade, I met Ms. Henshin. Flowing sundresses, barefoot in class, long black hair parted down the middle. She wasn't like anyone I'd ever met before. Believe it or not, back then, art terrified me. In my house, the word creativity wasn't just discouraged or frowned upon, it was kind of dangerous. My family couldn't understand why I was different from them. They used words like strange and weird, but all I heard was wrong. In Ms. Henshin's class, I just do the same things over and over. Mushrooms and horses, I don't know why. And I didn't even draw them very well. I'd destroy my work after each assignment. I was certain that somebody was going to laugh at me. But Ms. Henshin never stopped encouraging me to explore, to play, to create. When I graduated, Ms. Henshin wrote in my yearbook 4 words that I never forgot. You are an artist. That night, I had the most vivid dream. I can remember it still. I stood in front of our family house in a long, flowing white dress, barefoot, like Ms. Henshin. In my dream, I painted the house. Then I drew the house. Then I photographed it. Then I wrote poems about it, sang its song, molded it in clay. I was creating in every possible way. Years passed. I never saw Miss Henshin again. And eventually, I did come back to art, and I went to art school, and then I became an international art dealer. When I decided to leave that career, I thought about teaching other artists and sharing what I'd learned about the art business. But I had huge imposter syndrome. Who was I to tell other people what to do? What if I didn't have anything to say? What if no one cared? That's when the email arrived from Ms. Henshin. It had been decades by that time, but somehow she'd found me. And the email asked what I was doing and did I pursue art? When I told her my idea for teaching and coaching artists, this beautiful woman from my past encouraged me. She even said that she was proud of me, and that was all I needed to hear. Then, a few months later, I heard that Ms. Henshin passed away unexpectedly. I was devastated. I did start teaching a workshop for artists. I worked with universities and art clubs to mentor artists and help them to build their careers. And then I started dreaming of filming my course and bringing it online so that I could teach even more artists. I would call it the working artist. Well, I didn't have the money to do it, so I decided to launch a crowdfunding campaign through Kickstarter. In short, that means 30 days and 30 nights, me begging people for money to support my dream. It was exhausting and it was terrifying. But here's where the magic happened again. One night during my crowdfunding campaign, I was at an art walk. I was passing out flyers on the street, asking people to please go to my website and donate to my cause. There was a father and daughter who stopped to talk to me. They seemed really interested in what I was doing. They asked me lots of questions. They encouraged me, and they offered their support. The father handed me his business card, and the name on it was Henshin. I told them that my first art teacher was named Ms. Henshin, and the girl said that was my mother. I told them that Ms. Henshin had reached out to me and encouraged me. I couldn't believe that she even remembered who I was, but her letter had made such an impact that was the reason I was there that night. And the daughter smiled. She said, if she reached out after so long, that meant something, Krista. And we stood there in the busy street, quiet. We could all feel the spirit of this beautiful woman who brought us together in such a magical way. Even though Ms. Henshin left my life when I was 13 years old, she showed me what a true mentor could be. Someone who sees possibility in others before they even see it in themselves. Well, I won that crowdfunding campaign, and I've been teaching the working artist online ever since, coaching and mentoring artists in over 80 countries now. That's why I'm creating the Artist Mentorship Lab, because every artist deserves someone who believes in them, who gives them permission to dream, who holds space for their potential to unfold. If you want to work as an artist mentor or coach, you don't have to have my experience as an art dealer. Your experience and your insights have just as much value as mine. Trust me, artists ask all kinds of questions. Artists need all kinds of guidance. These days, not everyone can afford to go to art school. So there's a massive need for different kinds of teachers and leaders. Would you like to become that person for other artists? Then click the link below and check out the Artist Mentorship Lab, where you can learn from me, Krista Cloutier. That's Ms. Cloutier to you.